Hello and welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the Motorator DeAndrea. As we continue our coverage of the 2025 SEMA Show, I meet up with Joe Sherbondy, Director of Radar Detection Products at Cedar Electronics, maker of Escort and Cobra radar detectors. Let's get started. Okay, here we are again, back at SEMA. As you guys can imagine, we've got a lot of interviews lined up. We're in another booth. We're here at the Escort radar detectors, but there's more to that than just Escort radar detectors. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and explain what it is, where we are, and what you do.
Well, Matt, thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it. So this is the Cedar Electronics booth has a couple of brands. We're Cobra and we're Escort. So on the Cobra side, we have two-way radios, dash cameras, and on the Escort side, radar detectors and dash cameras.
Okay.
So my name is Joe Sherbondy, and I'm the director for the radar category. So I do the product development for all of our radar detectors for both brands, for the Cobra and the Escort product lines.
And we're here, we're standing next to the Escort radar detectors, and it's I guess just kind of thinking in general, it's like radar detectors seem like been around for a long time. Always just sort of like looked at the little ads at the back of the magazine going, here's the radar detector, and here's the bra that hides the signal from the radar detector. Going from like back then to today, how are things evolved? Technology's gotten better, but more complicated on both sides, right? Like on the detecting side and on, I guess, the police side.
You know, it's as relevant today as it was 20, 30 years ago when Fuzzbusters came out. We have definitely a long history with this. It is radar detectors are still actively used. Radar guns are still actively used with police enforcement all over the country still. When it started off years and years and years ago, it was X-band. It gradually evolved into K-band, and now Ka-band is currently being used out there by a number of different municipalities and state troopers. Currently, radar is also used in traffic light sensors.
Yeah.
I tend to think of it for people that have flown. The K-band frequency in particular is just crazy with the amount of technologies that use it. So door openers, blind spot monitoring systems on cars, and so our technology is really out there trying to look in between and see where the real threats are versus, a lot of those other types of sensors that are being used. But it is very actively used along with laser technology, laser guns, LiDAR that police use. So it's very active today as it was a lot of years ago. So
the technology that the police departments are using, like you said, that's gotten more advanced. But what have you guys had to do to the radar detector to keep up with that?
Yeah, so, basically the big thing for us is trying to filter out a lot of the other technologies that are
a lot of false alarms, a lot of things. I remember that a lot.
So let's say, if I tend to look at, I'll say two buckets here. So one is the fixed locations like banks and grocery stores and whatnot with door openers.
Yeah.
So we have on any of our radar products that have GPS capability, we have something that's called auto learn technology.
Okay.
So when you go by these locations, we use a combination of the GPS coordinates and that frequency for our system to learn it and then filter that out. So you're not, your daily drives that you have around town and in your local community, you have the ability to store those and weed out those false alerts that way. The second thing is on cars, so these blind spot monitoring systems we're talking about.
Right.
It's really about trying to, with us, learn those technologies. The OEs are coming out constantly with new frequencies and whatnot. So we try to make sure that we minimize those alerts when you're getting them, so that when you do get those K-band alerts, you are looking to see that it's a legitimate police threat versus, just that Nissan or the Honda that's in front of you.
I mean, that was kind of the frustrating thing, I don't know, 20, even 30 years ago, going, I have a radar detector, but I don't I don't leave it on all the time. I don't use it
Right.
around town. I just do it for road trips because it'll drive you nuts around town, right? It's just constantly beeping and yelling at you. But I guess learning those things and filtering that stuff out and making the radar detector a real, just true radar detection device.
Right.
That's really where a lot of the evolution has changed.
And that hasn't changed. You know,
Yeah.
that frustration's still out there because the OEs, when they come out with newer vehicles, they're constantly changing those frequencies. The good news is all of our units are firmware updatable, so we are constantly doing firmware updates to help keep ahead of that as much as we can.
Well, that kind of leads me to the next question was, has the hardware really changed much over the years, or is it really just you've been keeping up with software changes? Because the radar detection stuff that the police department uses, it doesn't seem like that stuff gets updated. Like, you know, it's not like an iPhone where there's a new update every year. Like, that's expensive for police departments. They're
Yeah.
often slow, you know, to adapt to new technology. So, well, for you guys, it seems like it's more of a software issue than it is just a hardware issue.
You know, it's both. It is both, and when you're looking at hardware, because to make the software faster, I need the chips that are either going to be faster processing, more memory. You know, as you're looking at, again, you know, how do you process stuff a little faster? So it is a combination of both. The good news is, I'll say, with recent updates we've done this year, and you know what we're working on, we've been able to stay ahead of that. The hardware was built for the future, and we've been able to leverage the software. But it is always a combination of making hardware changes in addition to the software.
So, tell us a little bit about, well, and again, we'll grab some footage for YouTube
Sure.
and stuff, but walk us a little bit through the lineup. What are some of the offerings that you guys have, the products here?
So I'll do this a little bit top down,
okay,
if you will. So this is the Redline 360C. This is our top of the line detector that we've got. This has the best range out of any of the products we have. So you can see threats the furthest out. This has stealth capability on it. And that one's always kind of an interesting question as we bring that up with folks. But our product uses a combination of, I'll say, hardware elements to allow us not to be seen by what's called a radar detector.
Okay.
And so we use both a combination of electronics and hardware elements that basically we can take this right up to the source of RDDs and not be seen. So we have this on two of our products, our custom install unit that we'll talk about here at the end, and then this particular model. This has the fastest response time, so when law enforcement is employing what they call quick trigger, you know, we're at 0.29 seconds of response time on this. So basically we are very fast on any kind of a quick trigger. There's another type of a radar gun that uses what's called POP technology. Same concept, but it's actually built into the gun. It's the only gun of its kind that uses what I'll call a true quick trigger, but that's at a 33.8 frequency in the Ka band. So this will detect any of those types of technologies out there. So excellent filtering, so reduced false alerts, great range, and the fastest response time out there.
So when you say quick trigger and that POP technology, it's like a fully automatic weapon versus like a semi-automatic weapon, right? They're just holding the trigger and it's like bing, 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 bing.
Yes.
Or they got to do it like one at a time, and you could either as fast as your finger can go, or the automatic version is it kind of does it for you.
That's a great analogy for it. That's exactly how that works. Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting because that's an example of how the technology's changed on the police side, right?
Yep.
It's like maybe they're not changing the technology in the sense of the type of radar they're using. They're just making that gun faster or more accurate.
Yeah, I tend to think of quick trigger where it's used as sort of a reconnaissance. They're looking at drivers and they're just trying to get a quick check on, hey, who looks like they're going at a fast compared to the speed limit, and then basically once they ascertain, hey, this person looks like they're going fast, and that quick trigger test validates that they are, then they'll pull the trigger for a longer period of time to write that person for a ticket. But there's other technologies out there we were talking about where I'll say police enforcement technology has gone, but camera technologies that are out there, MRCD, MRCT, MESTA, GATSO, these are different technologies I see, that are being developed in some cases over in Europe, but then they begin making their way across the pond. A lot of cases, it seems like they come in through Canada first.
Yeah.
Edmonton is kind of the hotbed for a lot of that. And once it's proved out there, I start seeing it popping up in different cities in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now moving on to the lineup, we talked about this product and then some more, different options or just affordable options.
Yeah, so our Max 360 MK2 products, so we have the 360, the 360C, and we have our Max Cam. All three are very similar technologies for the radar antenna that we have on there, but basically it's the next step down. It doesn't have the stealth capability that the Redline has.
Okay.
It comes in variants with connectivity, so the C, as we were talking over here, is Wi-Fi capable.
Okay.
So our Max 360 CMK2 is Wi-Fi capable. The Max 360 doesn't have Wi-Fi. The Max Cam does, and also has a built-in dash camera with it. So basically the same 360 technology capability that you have with it, just not quite the range on it. And then basically, we're in the process of doing beta testing right now to take this to the next improved level we were talking about on the response times that the Redline is seeing. That's now under development for the Max 360.
And that'll be a software upgrade.
That'll be a software upgrade,
right.
Yeah.
So I know the hardware has gotten a little better over the years, but you're buying the new one, you're getting the latest hardware and software, but some of the older units, they're not bad. You could still get the software for them, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the MK2s are basically next in the lineup for that. And, phenomenal detector. And, again, a lot of the same hardware we've got in the Redline, just not quite the same amount of range that you have with it for a couple $100 less, basically.
Okay.
And then the next one that you see over here is the Max 4. So the Max 4 is very similar range, but just front-facing that you see with the Redline. So it's a front-facing detector.
Right.
So it's not going to give you the directional arrows that tell you you're being hit from the sides or behind. It will detect in many cases if you're behind, but the directional arrows are not on that product. So that's a front-facing radar detector.
Okay.
That we have.
Yeah. I remember those. I remember those units.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's really kind of on the Escort side. That's kind of our entry level product that we have with that. And then as I talked a little bit on the Max Cam, that's got a quad HD camera built in. So it's the Mark II technology from a radar perspective, but with a built-in camera. What you see here is with this Max 360 MK2, we have an add-on dash camera that goes with it. So that's got the M2.
Okay.
So, for people that are looking to minimize, I'll say, the clutter up on the windshield of different technologies, we were just developing this so you can consolidate it in one location, basically. And then basically towards the back wall that you see over there is the Redline CI unit. That's where you were talking a little bit about, for the driver, that's about aesthetics.
Right.
So this is a case where the radar system and the laser system that we have with that gets built into the car. So instead of having a unit up on your windshield,
right,
this is for the user that wants it hidden, that wants the OE look and feel in the car. You can't even tell you've got this technology built in. So basically, the radar receivers, for example, get built in behind the bumpers of the car.
Okay.
It is a full custom install. The buttons that you see here, the display, get fabricated into the dash or up on the steering column. And then that also comes with a laser jamming system that'll jam any technology out on the market. So as you were talking about police technologies,
right, laser
guns are kind of that frontier that's out there right now. And that's, as I tell people, that's click and gotcha at that point in time. They press the trigger, they got your speed instantaneously. With our jamming technology, we actually jam their signals for a period of time. You as a user can set how long you want to jam that for. But on the laser guns, they get a no reading or an error code that comes up on that.
Yeah. So the first several units, the first 3 units we talked about, if you guys are picturing it in your head, if you're not watching it on YouTube, conventional, looks like the old design, mounts to the inside of the glass, to the windshield, and then the the other system like fully integrated behind the grill or behind the bumpers, and you don't even know, but it's hardwired in.
Correct.
You're not swapping it from car to car.
Yep.
These other units you can still just plug into a 12-volt
That is correct.
power, or maybe you're going to hardwire it a little bit into the rear view camera or something. I'm not sure what the options are there.
Yeah, and that's a great lead in here, I'll say, for some of the accessories. So for these three, for the windshield mounted detectors, we do have different power options. You can do a direct wire, as you talked about, into the 12-volt auxiliary, basically with the fuse panel. We have OBD2 cords that you can power directly, or now we also have USB-C that'll connect in with this. So if you have a newer vehicle that doesn't have, your cigarette lighter adapters, right? We know those are going away.
Right.
We have different power options available. And even on the laser jammers, that's an add-on accessory that, hey, look, if you like I call it a poor man's custom install. Not quite poor man's custom install, but, you can do add-on laser jammers that will work with any of these windshield-mounted detectors as well.
Oh, okay. And then cameras. We're starting to add cameras. People are running dash cameras, and those are getting, just seems like the past few years alone, they're getting more sophisticated. Their front, their rear, they're just kind of looking all over. They're recording. They're on a memory card or in the cloud, but that's definitely something you guys are working on as well.
Yeah. So on the Escort side, we have the M2 dash camera that will work with any of our windshield mounted detectors. That'll plug in. Our Max Cam has it built in, so those are both front facing cameras. And then on our Cobra product line, we also have front and rear dash camera options available to users.
Yeah.
And all of that works through our app that we have, which is, I'll say, kind of the third piece here. So we do have an app called Drive Smarter that connects with all of our products that we have. So that's, I'll say, really the all the elements you have for crowdsourcing, elements that you have for visually seeing police, while also working with any of our radar detectors that when connected with the app, will send those alerts up into the cloud and push it out to all the other users out there.
Yeah.
So if you're coming up on a threat, you're getting alerted even further in advance of, upcoming threats that you may see for radar and laser alerts.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Listen, I'm already learning so much about it for something that I've been, I don't know, I feel like we've all used in our lifetime many times, for sure, but just keeping up with the technology and seeing how it's evolved, and it's still just as relevant and important today as it has been for a long time. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
Thank you for
having me. Where should we just check out online to see some of the products?
So you can go to Cobra.com for our Cobra product lines, and for our Escort products, it's EscortRadar.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.